Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and today I'm going to go over with you what I guess I would call my 5 reasons that I believe XRP is about to go berserk. Berserk, is that how you say that word? Absolutely how about absolutely bonkers, okay? Let me write that down, that's a title. Absolutely bonkers, all right? Okay, we got that now. I'm way too far along in this video. Let me go back to where I was going to start. Okay, so last night I was actually at my 8-year-old's baseball game and I watched XRP go past $1 again. You can just feel it. You can feel that there's a lot of reasons, but I'm going to hit those 5 reasons kind of at the end of this video, but I will kind of touch on all of them as we go along here. And the first, first thing is kind of hit on here, and I'll summarize them at the end so that you know what my 5 reasons are. This is from Crypto Bull 2020. As the XRP price is lagging behind other major altcoins, I overlaid the ADA chart over the XRP chart. My thinking is that over the next weeks, Cardano ADA will not move much. While XRP is catching up, price target is 650, okay? Now, I agree with what I think is the premise of this. Many of you may or may not have thought about this, but when they announced the XRP lawsuit, what happened is most of the people, there were certain people that got scared when the lawsuit was announced. I was not one of them, but a lot of people got nervous, rightly so. Okay, that's normal type thinking. Now, so when that lawsuit was announced, XRP holders who understand what XRP are, some of them got scared. So what did they do? Well, people that understand what XRP is versus what Bitcoin or proof of work Ethereum is, they would not flee those, the ones that really understand, would not flee those to go into these two if they realize that proof of work does not work. Okay, but here's where they would go, and where I think they did go. They would go down this list and they would flow into digital assets that were not having SEC scrutiny, that have legitimate real technology and real potential. And I believe that Cardano is one of those digital assets that money flowed into. I believe that's why you saw the run up in Cardano. Now, I believe that Cardano deserves over time to do well. And I'm not saying that it doesn't deserve this kind of money flow. I'm just saying that Cardano benefited, I believe, from the exit by some people from XRP. But I think that's a double-edged sword. I think now people are beginning to, and like he's summarizing here, he thinks Cardano is going to kind of sit still now. I believe that part of the reason for that is that people are starting to smell the BS that reeks from this Ripple SEC case, and that includes the judge. And if you go down here, this is that article I showed you from yesterday, the SEC now on trial. The judge, I think they had a quote from the judge in here that kind of illustrated how, well, I don't know if I can find it right now, but anyway, her understanding of it, not only does it have a currency value, but it has a utility, and that utility distinguishes it from Bitcoin and Ether. This rejects the SEC's story that XRP never had utility. Anyway, bottom line is, in this article, you got the vibe that this judge, and just from paying attention, you get the vibe that this judge smells the BS coming. So, I kind of just described for you a couple of my reasons that I think XRP is about to go bonkers, and that is, I think that there's an SEC resolution coming, because I think the SEC is having egg literally flung all over its face right now, and everybody knows it. I believe their credibility is on the line, and I believe they know it, and everybody else knows it, and I believe they want out. I would want out if I was them, but also the one of or two of the 5 points that I made, the money flows into other digital assets that left XRP as a result of this. That's one of my 5 reasons as well. I believe that when this thing gets resolved and when this happens, you're not just going to have a surge from the relief of 8 years of regulatory uncertainty, but you're also going to have a lot of money flows that reverse and come back out of some of the other assets into XRP. Okay, now XRP, and before I go into the rest of this video, I want people to really understand where I'm coming from. I'm not attacking Bitcoin and Ethereum in my videos because I think Bitcoin and Ethereum are necessarily bad for the industry. It's not that. My attacks are based purely on the fact that the hypocrisy in this space that I believe is due to pure politics and to money and people that are behind the scenes paying to make sure that certain narratives are carried, whether they're a lie or the truth. I believe that it's important that I point out the truth and the lies, and wherever those truth and lies lead. And today, the truth and lies led me to where I'm about to go. So here we go. XRP, and it's after this, I think, actually. I wanted to show you this first. CoinGate, XRP is relisted on CoinGate for its non-US users. Non-US users can now buy and pay invoices with XRP, while merchants can accept payments in XRP. Okay, and then we've got this. I'm going to get to the Bitcoin Ethereum stuff in a second. Tranglo retweeted, "We are building a network on a network with Ripple. It's going to change cross-border payments forever." And then they had an article, Tranglo levels up. I like that. Levels up with Ripple to power cross-border payments in Southeast Asia. All right, now let's get to the juicy part. It all started with this tweet. This is from John Deaton's Twitter handle. He's got 2 Twitter handles. He's got one for himself, but you need to go follow @cryptolaw.us. Okay, this guy, John Deaton's sharp, and this is a great tweet from his, I guess it's his company or website. From the 4/6 transcript of the hearing on discovery before Judge Netburn, what excerpts did you find? Read the full transcript, but look at this. What they're doing is they're trying to say, look, you guys gave Ethereum and Bitcoin clarity, and so they're holding their feet to the fire here. This is the court. Just a quick clarifying question. You distinguish the speech, Mr. Hinman, William Hinman, he's the guy that went to the microphone in 2018 and declared basically that Ether was not a security and put that thought pattern out into the market intentionally, I believe. Okay? His speech suggesting it was not a pronouncement, but rather just a speech that referenced Bitcoin, and so is it. Does the SEC take a position that as of a certain date, its position was official as to Bitcoin and Ether? Mr. Bliss, who I'm assuming is an SEC attorney. So I want to make clear that this is my understanding of the current situation, and I don't want to be overly technical, but the SEC itself, my understanding, it has not taken an official position. There is no action that it took to say Bitcoin is not a security. Ether is not a security. So in other words, the SEC has never officially weighed in on this, and that led me to a series of tweets that are all common sense, basic things that everybody in this space should be thinking, because this is the truth right here. First thing I said is watch out Bitcoin, Ethereum maxis, and hedge funds that sell them. You are not in the clear from a regulatory standpoint. All you have is opinions of a couple of jacklegs who used to work there. And those jacklegs are William Hinman and Jay Clayton. They're the 2 that went out and put this whole narrative without making it an official SEC thing. They put out the narrative that Bitcoin and Ethereum were non-securities, and they always covered their butts with this, well, this is not the official statement of the SEC, but we're saying it anyway. That's what they always did, that wishy-washy, ho-hum stuff that people that don't want to actually make decisions, that want to just throw hand grenades and stuff like that, come on. Anyway, I said it was never proof of work, and it wasn't. It isn't. Okay, then I retweeted this thing again. I retweeted it 4 or 5 times, I think. Hashtag DLIST Bitcoin, hashtag DLIST Ethereum. I believe that it's the obligation at this point, with this information from a lawsuit, I believe it is the obligation of Coinbase and all these exchanges that delisted XRP or halted trading on XRP. I think they have the same obligation because they have it in writing from the court and the SEC. This is a legal document. They have it in writing that Ethereum and Bitcoin they have not weighed in officially on whether they're securities or not. Coinbase is heading to IPO right now, and they have Bitcoin and Ethereum listed, and these are not, you heard it straight from the SEC on paper in a legal document. They have not been declared non-securities, and Coinbase is heading to an IPO that is sanctioned by the SEC, and they have them listed, and that can't be. That does not protect investors. So I said hashtag delist Bitcoin, hashtag delist Ethereum. They have no more regulatory clarity than XRP according to the SEC. They have William Hinman and J. Clayton clarity is what I would call it, which means nothing since they are no longer with the SEC. Coinbase, this doesn't look good going to IPO. All right, and then I said this. This just put on notice all the hedge funds, all the companies listing Bitcoin and Ethereum, and companies buying either for their treasuries. Who's going to save you when there's a 51% attack on proof of work or on Ethereum or Bitcoin and the lawsuits start flying? Jay Clayton, William Hinman, I think not. Don't hold your breath. They're not going to save you, which is why I keep saying hashtag delist Bitcoin, hashtag delist Ethereum. And it's not because I want them to be delisted. I'm saying it to make a point. If you're going to delist XRP because the SEC files a suit against them, and then in that same suit, they tell you that, hey, Bitcoin's not, we're not saying it's not a security, and we're not saying officially that Ether's not a security. We're not saying officially either one of them. That means that tomorrow they can turn around and file a lawsuit against Bitcoin and Ethereum the same way, or companies that are listing them. They could do it tomorrow because they haven't taken an official position, which is the same thing they did to Ripple. They spent 8 years and never get and hemmed and hawed and waffled, and we watched Jay Clayton. I just don't want to weigh in on exact what is and what is not a security. He hemmed and hawed, and he never gave an answer and gave plenty of non-answers. He could do the SEC could do the exact same thing to companies that are listing Bitcoin, to companies that are listing Ether. They could go after the Ethereum Foundation. Why not? Because they didn't weigh in. They left themselves that vague window wide open. And that, if you're a company who's out there who's listing or buying this for your treasuries, if you're one of those companies, you are exposed. From a legal standpoint, you're exposed. I'm no attorney, but the way I see it, you're wide open exposed. Someone, it could be your shareholder, someone could sue your butt because you're not paying attention to what the SEC is saying. They say it right here. Let me read it for you again just to make it clear. There is no action that it took to say Bitcoin is not a security, Ether is not a security. In other words, tomorrow they could come out and say, oh, somebody else could be running the SEC, and they could say, oh, well, it is a security, and we're coming after you, and you should have known, just like they're saying now that Brad Garlinghouse should have known. Oh, well, you should have known. You should have known because we didn't come out and make Bitcoin and Ether a non-security. We didn't come out and make that official. We didn't do that. Now, here's XRP Crypto Wolf. SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce says a government ban on Bitcoin would be foolish. Crypto Mom also thinks cryptocurrency regulation in the U.S. needs to change. Okay, so once again, I consider her to be one of the good guys in this whole thing, okay? But here's the problem. She could go and work for Goldman Sachs tomorrow, and her opinions here, no official statement, her opinions mean nothing. It doesn't mean anything. If nobody at the SEC is going to go on the record or put the SEC on the record and say, this is this or this is not this, if nobody has the guts to do that, then what is this all for? What it is, it's intentional, it's being vague intentionally. That way you can throw your hands up and say, oh, we're going to find you $1 billion. And because we didn't say that. See how this works? Okay, now, looks like, and here's the other thing that's going on. And this is one of my other 5 points of why I think XRP is about to go absolutely, did I say bonkers, bananas, bonkers, berserk? Maybe I'll use all those words. Let me write down bananas. The 3 B's. Okay. So I believe that we're starting to see the mainstream media change the narrative that they've been running with. Look at this. And I said, it looks like CNBC was told to stop throwing candy at the Bitcoin parade. They just put this article out yesterday. China's Bitcoin mining is threatening its climate change targets, study says. Some 75% of the world's Bitcoin mining is done in China. Who's been telling you that? Brad Garlinghouse has been saying this for years now. Did CNBC have him on so that they could give him airtime to tell the truth about the mining, 75% of the mining being in China? No, they did not. They had Anthony Pompliano on to give you a completely different narrative. They had Mike Novogratz on to give you a completely different narrative. But now they're going to tell you the truth? What is going on? That's why I think there's a narrative change. What else happened this week? Peter Thiel from PayPal called Bitcoin a Chinese financial weapon. What's going on? There's a narrative change. Now, I was looking around today because it's important for me. This is what I see as being very important. With this SEC lawsuit, to me, we need to find as much video from these guys, Jay Clayton and William Hinman, who did this. We need to find as much video of their own words and illustrate the freaking absurdity of what they have said and what they've done, okay? And I illustrate it right here. This is, I said the Ethereum ICO sure does provide a lot of insight into just how much the SEC had to overlook to hand out a free pass. This looks really, really bad. And I've got the link to the full video, but watch this.
And Kelly here, just to be clear, does that mean if stocks didn't have a third-party promoter, they wouldn't be securities?
Well, as you know, Kelly, stocks represent an interest in an enterprise where there's a management team, and it's really, whenever you're buying a stock or a bond, you're relying on that management team. Those are the third-party efforts we're talking about, where someone is creating value for you, you're passive, and you're expecting their efforts to generate a return.
Sorry, your other question was like, what are they going
now,
to do?
what you're watching here, this second part of the video, this is the actual Ethereum ICO, and these guys are going through all the ins and outs of how the ICO works. This is from back in 2014. Against the backdrop of what William Hinman just said, this is unbelievable. Watch.
For intended use of revenue, I think that sounds good. Yeah, so they have a couple scenarios, just like, I guess just like Swarm, like the minimal option between 0 and 9 million.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, this is in US dollar equivalent.
It's not very detailed, you know. Legal contingency fund. Well, there you go. They spent $1 million in legal fees. Or planning to.
Probably change the Swiss law.
So they're laying out for you, in other words, the Ethereum Foundation, they're laying out for you, okay, when you buy your Ethereum, we're going to lay out for you how we're going to use the money, the proceeds we get from you. This is how we're going to, they're talking about how they're going to spend some of it on legal fees. They're literally laying it out as if, hey, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to spend the money on, because they know that the people that are giving them the money are going to expect that they get a return on the freaking money. This is in your face security. 1, 2, 3, common sense. I could have figured that. Look, I'm not even an attorney, and I could have explained this to Jay Clayton and William Hinman all day long in my sleep. Okay? This is a joke.
Quiet.
Yeah, lobbying the government.
So the expenses have been 1.8 million so far.
That's amazing that they, and I wonder, you know, if they'll ever release who actually put in that 1.8 million. I guess someone is expecting a lot of money back.
Oh, they're expecting a lot of money back? What is that expectation of profits? Isn't that what Isn't that right here? Isn't expectation of profits one of the key parts of the Howey test that Jay Clayton and them, they always talked about? Isn't that one of the, here's some expectation of profits. This is from the actual Ethereum ICO right here you're looking at. It says, in the first 14-day period of the sale, Ethereum will be offered at a discount from the retail price. As a result of the discount during this initial period, Ethereum will be priced at 0.0005 Bitcoin. During this period, 1 Bitcoin can purchase 2,000 Ethereum. At the end of the 14-day period, the price for Ethereum in Bitcoin terms will increase daily. So if I'm reading this, I'm expecting to have quite the profit, since the price for Ethereum in Bitcoin terms is going to increase daily, right? Wouldn't you? Okay, and so let me get back to where I was. Okay, so here's the, you need to go watch this. It's from this YouTube channel called Ethercast, July 23rd, 2014. The Ethereum pre-sale, the Ethereum ICO, which, by the way, Ripple had no ICO. And then I tweeted that video to the Ripple attorneys, and I said, hey, Ripple attorneys, drop this mic on the judge. Get the SEC attorneys to try and explain the unexplainable. I would pay money to listen to the SEC attorneys try to explain that video to the judge. And then there's this. Remember, 1 Bitcoin transaction burns the equivalent of 70 gallons or 265 liters of gasoline and will soon consume more energy than 181 countries. I mentioned out of my top 5, one of the things I think the Bitcoin Ethereum proof of work narrative is unraveling. And at the same time, this is kind of one of my 5 points, at the same time that it unravels, you can see Ripple, and here's Monica Long, individual work has gotten us far, but collective action is the key to accelerating change. So meanwhile, while you're seeing all of this Bitcoin Ethereum proof of work unravel, and people are starting to even CNBC starting to talk about how this is climate unfriendly, and the way they said it in this article, China's Bitcoin mining is threatening its climate change targets. I didn't even know how China had climate change targets. I thought they were exempt from having to do anything on climate change. It's just the rest of the world that has to. But so you can see this narrative unfolding. So now I'm going to summarize my 5 key points. Okay, the 5 reasons I think that XRP is set in the next 30 to 60 days to go absolutely berserk, bananas, and or bonkers, whichever B word you want to use, is the following. First, I think the Coinbase IPO is going to open the floodgates of Wall Street, retail, just knowledge of crypto. I believe that's going to open the gates, just like the Netscape IPO back in the crypto or in the .com boom opened the floodgates. Difference being that Netscape wasn't making crap compared to what these companies are making in crypto. Coinbase is making, I think, billions. Okay, so number 1 reason is Coinbase IPO is going to open the door. Second, I think this SEC thing has to go away quick. I think the SEC is dying for this to go away to save their reputation. 3, we've got Flare on the conveyor belt. Flare is coming inbound in the next 2 or 3 months. Okay, we're in April, May, June is when my understanding of Flare coming through. I believe this is a game changer. And then what I told you at the beginning of this video about how the money flows had flowed into other good tech like ADA, Cardano. I believe a lot of that money is going to flow back into XRP as people see more and more the ridiculousness of this SEC lawsuit. And finally, the number 5 is the Bitcoin Ethereum proof of work narrative unraveling. At the same time, we see Ripple touting how great XRP is and how green XRP is and how good it is for the climate versus the proof of work and the mining digital assets. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that I believe XRP is going to go absolutely berserk, bananas, bonkers, whatever B word you want.